Now there's a lot of us, I would say a large percentage of us, that may never ever build a watch on our own. And as an enthusiast, a watch lover, I had to say it was quite an experience. Now, one I will never forget. And I have to admit I suck. But when it comes down to it, it just, wow. It hasn't ruined my love for watches. If anything, it's increased it. Holy crap, was this tough. I have a newfound appreciation for every watchmaker out there on the planet. I mean, how do you do this every day, working with such small parts, with the patience and the control and the steady hands and the eyes? Don't even get me started. But I got it done in just about 5 hours and 20 minutes. As tough as it was, I enjoyed every minute. DIY Watch Club reached out to me, offered me the chance to assemble my very own MAXI GMT. The challenge was awesome and I cherished and every bit of the experience. Despite how overwhelmed I was, I mean, I'll have to admit, I was nervous and I was scared as F. Would I do it again? Well, I don't know. Do I need to? Of course I would. The DIY Watch Club kit is freaking pretty cool. Now let's talk about it. For starters, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave comments along the way if you have something that comes to mind, because this is some pretty awesome stuff. I know there's mixed reviews about the brand DIY, the value for money, issues like that, where they stand as far as the different designs. But I got a new design here for 2025, a great movement update as well. DIY stepping up their game now, and they're making a true GMT, similar to my Black Bay GMT by Tudor, in operation, obviously. I love the design. The ability to monitor a second time zone is just awesome and super helpful when we travel. You can know what time it is when you're in the UK or around the UK for Zulu time, not to mention wherever else you are around the planet. And in case you're wondering, the UK, where GMT started, gets its name for Zulu time, Z for 0 hour. As you work your way east, you lose hours, and as you work your way west of Zulu time, you gain hours in the respective zones. So 0 for UK, but here in Canada we're -5, so we're 5 hours behind. Now, I'm a sport bezel tool watch type of guy, and at first glances, the MAXI GMT looks real sharp. In case you missed it, I did the unboxing video and of course I recorded some of my actual trying to assemble this thing. Whew. But the MAXI GMT, which I'm wearing on the wrist right now, is pretty special. Right away I was impressed by the case materials and the finishing. It has a real nice look to it. Looks really good with the, polished and brushed stainless steel. A case measuring 42 millimeters in diameter, and I'll put the specs up there on the screen for you. The case is actually about 41.5 with the bezel overhanging just about a millimeter. You get about that 42 millimeter measurement. A 22 millimeter lug, no worries, it's a strap monster for you. If it doesn't suit your style for the rubber, you could always get steel, you could always get a NATO, other leather strap options. There's a plethora of things you can put on this thing. 47.5 millimeter lug to lug, so she's not stretching across your wrist too far at all. I'm 7¼ inches wrist, no problem, and it looks great. I think it's right there in that sweet spot for a wide range of wrists around the planet here. 14 millimeter thickness. You can take into consideration the GMT complication in there, so that's why it's a little bit thicker. And we have 200 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown, and you have crown guards as well with an exhibition case back so you can see this MIYOTA movement inside. A bi-directional bezel comes with this GMT design. My watch actually has a 24 click operation, so functionally not necessarily a diver, only by aesthetic only, not necessarily function. So it should have had a 60 or 120 click ratcheting style unidirectional bezel if it were going to be functioning as a diver. So you have the look, but not necessarily the function of that. So for this one, the GMT function takes precedence, right? Now I hear there are options when you go to the DIY website. You're able to purchase the ring and you can convert this to a 60 or 120 click unidirectional bezel, which is pretty cool. That being said, I learned how to change out the ceramic bezel for added versatility, and I actually ordered the Coke design as well as the steel design since it was gifted to me. I wanted to do my part to contribute, and since I assembled this one by hand, it goes with the TheCovertCrow's channel, so I'm going to get the Coke bezel, which is the black and the red. Nice cool options here for the designs to keep you collectors and enthusiasts like me stimulated. Now, I have to admit, till DIY reached out to me, I had never thought about assembling my own watch before. And you know what? It was an experience, to say the least, that I wanted to give myself the challenge. And sometimes it's not bad to step outside your comfort zone, right? Don't get me wrong, I'm still not jumping out of a perfectly good airplane, ever. But trying to build a mechanical watch seemed a little bit harmless, so, well, I guess until fatigue set in after about the 4th hour. Be ready for this one. Do not underestimate this challenge. It's real, especially when it's not something you've done before. I mean, I'm just like you. I've never put a watch together before. I mean, come on, most of us, we just put them on the wrist, but this is a whole new form of engagement now. And I did like it, I'll be the first to admit it, no problem. However, the struggle was real. MAXI GMT had me running on adrenaline, really, from the start. I started this task around 10:30 at night after Mateo and Amy went to bed, and yeah, it took me quite a while, but I got through it. I was excited, but let's look at this dial. This is the MAXI GMT with that fume dial lacquer finish. It pops, and you don't want to touch it and get any finger oils and things like that on it, so make sure you're going to use these finger cogs, or I call them like the finger condoms, to protect from any of the oils from your skin getting on the dial or any of the parts. You don't want to mess up the system, right? I hear the oils from our skins could actually negatively impact some of the components over time, so be careful of that. Now, I like it. It's got some character with that fume design, the gradient brown gray to the black on the perimeter. It's got panache.
Panache?
Yeah, it means flamboyance.
I know what it means.
Really? I had to look it up.
A sandwich design with the cutout shapes for the indices, a large triangle at the 12, all loomed underneath, and a framed out window for the date complication at the 3 o'clock position with black on white display, no cyclops. Now, I've seen videos where others have complained about the reference number being there on the dial. Seems like maybe DIY Watch Club has listened to their client base and they've taken away some of those reference numbers, which is good. We've got MAXI GMT under the D and the signature series as well. Pretty small. It's actually pretty small. You can't even read it to the naked eye unless you zoom in. GMT in red, a nice touch to match that of the GMT hand, and 200 meters water resistance and automatic below that. Now, I think the dial is done in a nice way, despite how glossy it looks. When underneath this sapphire crystal, it doesn't look as glossy as when I was putting it together. Interesting, though. We have 4-hand movement with the GMT in red. I can't believe I took this challenge on. It was insane. The red GMT hand, which is loomed in that broad arrow design. We have reflective steel hour, broad arrow loom-filled hands with a pencil design, minute hand, and a large, pain in my butt, loomed up, large seconds hand. Wow, was that a pain to put that on. Now, I wonder about the arrow on the back end of this. Because as a watch builder, which I am not, seems weird that you have a pointed arrow on the outside of this large seconds hand. Could be a little bit confusing because it's pointing towards the perimeter, so you might confuse that for the actual seconds time. I don't know. You comment below and let me know what you think. Now, here's where things get a little interesting, and some may love it, some may hate it, but we have the 24-hour time ring on the dial, even if you want the diver bezel look. However, if you install the 24-hour bezel, you potentially could be monitoring 3 time zones here. So you'd have your 1 time zone with the primary time or primary hands that you use for normally telling the time. Then you have your GMT time working with the inner perimeter 24 hours. And then thirdly, you would have the ability using regular hour and minutes to track another time zone utilizing the outer bezel, going back or forward the number of hours for whatever time zone you're monitoring. So yeah, that would be quite versatile for that complication. Overall, there's great legibility and low light conditions are no concern at all. You thought Seiko Lume was good. The DIY made this one impressive using BGW9 and it activates real well. Steel chapter ring finishes off the dial with black markers all the way around, and the installation of the hands was the tough part. Almost 30 to 45 minutes per hand here. Wow. I was pulling my hair out, well, what was left of it anyway. Now, I've seen some other designs, and they look good, but not elevated like this dial. I'm impressed at the direction that the designs are going with the DIY Watch Club. They're offering lots of versatility here for any wear. Several designs to choose from, not to mention different ways to change the look of your selection by getting other bezels and bezel inserts, from ceramic to steel, graduated diver to 24-hour. Now let's get to the highlight for 2025, the movement update. DIY has moved forward with the MIYOTA 9075 caliber, a great upgrade for this complication. An automatic MIYOTA Japanese movement, right? High beat, improved accuracy, And this one's running at 28,800 vibrations per hour, 24 joules, right? With shock absorption and a 42-hour power reserve. So MIYOTA is like one of the best reputable Japanese brands out there, and they're used in several different micro brands all around the world. Known especially for the efficiency and cost, yet powerful delivery. Now I'm liking it. I'm glad they put the movement in this watch. I'm enjoying the GMT function, and I'm enjoying watching the hand run around this dial. But with this GMT design for this movement, you're also getting the ability of that jump hour for quick set capabilities. And with the quality of this movement, there are some brands that can regulate this caliber 9075 to a cost standard, which is incredible. Never did I ever think that I would be building or assembling a watch. It is so hard, especially when you don't have any training and expertise. But yet at the end of the day, when I completed this thing, it was such a rewarding feeling. That feeling of satisfaction when I was through, like, wow. And boy, was I tired. It was almost 4 o'clock in the morning. Stick around though, you can hear about how I messed up. So before we move on to the strap, let's talk about the lume highlights. It's top shelf here, and it would compete with all of those out there, Lumibright, Super Luminova, and others. It's BGW9, like I mentioned, with the MIYOTA 9 series movement that they put in here, and it won't let you down. Also, nice touch here for the bezel, it's loomed as well. And of course the ultimate, the GMT hand, has a different color, like a greenish lume. That is pretty special. Similar to that of how Omega with the Seamaster does the different lume colors between the hands and the actual dial markings. That's pretty special. I like that. There's just so much quality stuff here going on in this project. Now this one comes with the rubber strap, which is the go-to for me when I like to be around the water. It's pretty good. After all, it does have somewhat of a diver theme, minus the bezel action, but it is comfortable on the wrist. A strong, thick connection at the 22mm lug, and she's tapering down to that 20mm signed pin and buckle closure here. Pretty straightforward. And I'm pretty sure that contributes to the overall weight of this package here at 110 grams. Now my wrists are 7¼ inches, and there's still lots of holes left as far as your connection, so I'm sure you're well over 8 inches wrists, you're going to be just fine. Now when we get to the cost, I mean, this one here could be up for debate. Right now, I believe the kits are trending at 20% off. You can check them out online for a range of about $500 to $1,000 depending on the model. The MAXI GMT that we have here is just down to about $765, I believe, from 900 and change. So them giving you that discount at the beginning, that's pretty special. That's awesome. Now some can argue this might be inflated and too high for what you're getting, or if you're a builder of watches, you can get other parts and stuff like that online at places like AliExpress and things. But I'm no watch builder. I can't do that. I wouldn't be in a position to do that and look that up and logistically get all of those parts together to put this together myself. It just wouldn't happen. It might work for someone who's a watchmaker, but not me. I'm just your average everyday guy who loves watches, an enthusiast, a collector, and of course, a YouTuber. But for someone like me who has no idea what they're doing and needs all that peace of mind still, with all the parts, the direction that you get, the supplies, the kit, all of the tools, I mean, I'm not going to be outsourcing that stuff, but DIY Watch Club provides everything for you. No problem. The ultimate assembly experience. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Even if I had to pay for it, but that's just me. $765 is a lot of money for the current sale price. Is it a scam? I don't think so. Everything you need is in this kit except the loop holder. I had to kind of make my own with a couple of bungees, but you see that in the video. And you know what? Which is absolutely needed for starters. If you think you're putting these watches together without a loop, which is kind of like a magnifying glass for those of you that aren't familiar, you can't do it because these parts are so small and it's whoo. I don't know how your eyes are, but if your vision is anything like mine, a little bit limited, especially for distance, this will be the ultimate challenge for you, let me tell you. And it'll take a challenging task and make it damn near impossible, but good luck. I have faith in you. Working with these mini screws especially, they're about the quarter of the size of a grain of rice. It's insane. Not to mention the hands, trying to connect them to the center posts. Holy crap. I was shocked at first when I heard that this thing's supposed to be done in roughly about 2 hours, the average time for the build. But you know what? With no experience whatsoever on the planet here, I can understand why it took me a little bit to get it done. At the end of the day, an updated dial design that's good looking, updated high beat movement with multiple complications, all the kit and the tools with the assembly experience that you need, and direction from those videos that they attach so that you can follow along and do as you're asked. I mean, yeah, Could it have been around a $500 price point? I guess it could have been. But I understand the company, when they're putting all that together, they got to get paid at the end of the day too, right? We can understand and embrace that for the experience that we're getting for this whole build. That feeling when I was done and I put this watch on the wrist and it was running and it didn't break, that's priceless. Not to mention, you now have a watch you can wear on the wrist and you can say, assembled by you. Come on, that's awesome. Overall wear is good. I have no complaints, right? I've had it on the wrist almost a week. No issues, and it's still running, which is fantastic. A lasting reminder of my efforts and 5 hours and 20 minutes that I'm not probably going to get back. But you know what? It was fun nonetheless. Ask me anything. Comment below. You want to know? I'll tell you the truth. Like I'm under oath. The DIY Watch Club MAXI GMT. It is the real deal. Okay, now for the bad news. You want to know how I messed up? Two things. You can see in the video with a couple of the macros, I'm offline by just about a hair for the outer chapter ring. But it's very slight. You might not even be able to notice it. But I notice it. You know, it's all part of the whole experience. Now, I can take it apart and make the adjustment and put it back so that it's perfect. But I'll get there at some point. The second problem, my fault. Totally just not thinking. Maybe it was fatigue that set in, but I made a mistake. Taking off the bezel and then applying the ceramic insert while it was off and not connected to the watch. Not realizing that the 24-hour notch system, you need to have that on the watch when you put the bezel insert on so that you're accurately on the notch. So what happened? When I put the thing back on top of the watch and connected it and I turned it, the 24 spaces, they weren't lined up on the 24 hours. Yeah, that was a tough lesson to learn. So what did I do? Of course, I tried to pry it off because I thought I'd be able to get to it before it kind of adhered to it completely. And I caused a little hairline crack in the ceramic on the dive bezel, this one here. And I have two others that are on their way, but once I get those, I'll put those on and show you how it works as well, just so you have a clearer understanding of what happened. But in any event, nobody can even notice it, right? Except I know it's there right at the 40-minute mark. So it is what it is, no problem. Lessons learned. Now it's going to come down to what you're open to. Like I said, I'm no expert. I just love watches. But assembling one myself was a next level experience. No one can ever take that away from me. And although super tough, especially with the big hands that I have and the distance issues with vision, I got through it, albeit 5 hours plus it took me. But I didn't give up. I got it done. Now, is it perfect? No. It was a heck of an experience and a great memento on my wrist every time I look at it, of the effort and the time and the work that I put into assembling it myself. You too can have that same experience, and you're going to find it super rewarding when you're done. I hope this wasn't too long for you. Thanks for joining me on this DIY adventure. I'm Ross. Do all the things. Comment below if you have any questions or concerns. I'm here to help you with what little I know, but however I have experienced it firsthand, so you're not alone. I'll be back. We'll see you on the next one.